Welcome back to Ask the Expert on CTV Morning Live. We're here with Michael Kroon from Kroon Electrical Corporation. You're the president. I met some great people that you have worked for you.
Yes, some great people work with us.
Last week. And where is Kroon Electrical, by the way?
Well, we work all throughout in Ottawa.
Right.
Our office is in the East End, but we work all throughout Ottawa.
Throughout the city.
And actually in Quebec as well.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter where you are?
No, wherever you are.
Excellent.
We'll go out to you.
Okay, good. We're going to have some information, too, on free assessments coming up. Matter of fact, let's do that now. How do you mentioned free assessments.
Yeah. Well,
how do I get you to come to my house?
If you want a free assessment, you give a call to our office. The number is 833-373. Oh, sorry, that's not the right number. 833-0020.
Right.
I'll give my home number there.
There it is on the screen right now.
Oh,
right?
perfect.
Yeah.
So just call the office and you can talk to anyone there and book the free assessment.
And what does a free assessment mean, Michael?
Well, what we're going to do is come out to your home and we're going to see if there's problems in your house, talk to you about how you're consuming electricity, verify how things are working, and let you know if you really need to invest any money in doing a full electrical audit in your house. Yeah.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with getting an assessment done from time to time, I would guess.
You should do it frequently.
Is that right?
Frequently, every 4 or 5 years. Someone
is that
should come
right?
out and, yeah, just make sure everything's okay.
We had a good question from one of our guys. Steve was asking, when it comes to buying a home, for example. And we see this a lot here in the Ottawa area where, again, there are a lot of older homes and so on. And yes, you have an inspection, right? A home inspection to complete your deal. But I can get you to come in and do an extra sort of electrical assessment,
exactly.
right?
If you're buying an older home with, say, knob and tube wiring or old aluminum wiring or old panels,
and it still exists,
and it's still there. There's a lot of houses in Ottawa like that.
Yeah.
And you're just unsure, and you think you might have to upgrade it. Please call someone in to tell you how much it's going to cost.
Right.
We've helped a few home buyers who ended up not buying the property because they didn't realize how much money upgrading the electrical system in the house would be.
Because in many cases, you need to take everything out and start over.
Exactly. And it's not just the wire you have to take out. Sometimes you got to take some walls out. You got to move, pieces of
furnace.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of things. Yeah. For a full rewire of a house could be $30,000-$40,000.
Yeah, and that may not come up in the final walkthrough or something.
No,
that,
like
right?
if it's working fine, they'll say, "Oh, everything's fine," but that doesn't mean it needs to not need to be replaced at some point, right? In short term.
They won't tell you. That it's a certain kind of wiring unless you ask, I would guess.
Exactly. So that's especially if you're buying an older home,
right.
Someone should look at that.
Okay, so what age are we talking about here when it comes to homes? Should I call you in?
Yeah.
And get you to come look at it?
Well, if your home is over 40 years old and no one's ever looked at it, you should pick up the phone immediately and call. If it's between 20 and 40 years, it should be a good idea that you do it. It's not urgent, but it's something that should be done very soon.
Yeah.
If your house is less than 20 years old, but you have electrical problems, you have things burning out, things are not working in your house.
Right.
You're spending a lot more money electricity than your neighbor with the same house.
Right.
Those kind of things.
Right.
That's when you should be calling us.
Now, there's we're talking about two different things here. One of them is the free assessment, right? Where you come over and check things out. The detailed assessment, like you did at my house, is a current safe, is something different.
It's completely different.
Right.
Exactly. That's what we saw in the video there with all the tools and all the equipment. An average home takes between 6 and 10 hours, depending on how many problems we find.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Fraser wasn't there that long because mine was a newer home and it didn't take as much time to go through it, but it was a good few hours that you guys were there last Friday. He was there well into the afternoon and really taking a good hard look at things, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I mean, that's, in the end, you got to be happy with that no matter how long it takes.
Yeah.
Because, like I said at the beginning, they're looking at every single wire behind every wall, every plug, everything.
Every single element, yes. And if there's a problem, we find it, and then we'll tell you how to repair it if we don't repair it on the spot.
Exactly, because you and I, the average person, have no ability whatsoever, people, to identify that sort of thing at all. We know sometimes there could be a problem.
Maybe a problem.
What that problem is,
no one knows.
No one knows.
No one able
and again,
to
you're dealing with electricity here. It's not something you want to mess around with.
That's exactly
We do have one time for Linda's Facebook question.
Sure.
And we'll get to that. Are power cords truly safe? And what about putting a bed near a wall outlet? Is that safe?
Okay, so let's talk about the power cord. If you buy a proper power cord and use it for its proper application, that's safe.
How do you know if it's proper?
It's proper. There should be a...
is it CSA approved?
CSA or ULC or something like that.
Right.
If there's no ground pin and you're putting things with ground pins in, the third prong on the plug.
Right.
If you're not using that correctly,
then
there's a problem. What I recommend, though, is that a power cord should only be used temporarily. If it's used as a permanent installation, it's not done correctly.
Right.
Yeah.
And give the office a call and find out more about the smart monitors.
Yeah, these smart monitors, these are great tools. We install many of them, and they're really used to help people save energy in their home.
Yeah.
And on average, people are saving around 10-15% of their electrical bill. So
very good.
Yeah.
Michael, we're out of time, but you'll be back in a few weeks.
Thank you very much.
All right, good to see you.
Appreciate it.
Michael Kroon from Kroon Electrical. Remember, you can call them, book an appointment for your free assessment, and find out more about the state of your home and its electricity and wiring and so on. 9:43, a quick break. We're back with more of CTV Morning Live after this.